Hello, YouTube fans. This is the Skull Clown here to talk about. Well, basically, I'm here to talk about Final Fantasy 13. Now, okay, guys. Every day I look in the internet about Final Fantasy 13. Why? Because Final Fantasy 13 is, I think it's okay. It's not the best Final Fantasy game out there. No, it's not. To me, I think number 7 is the best of all time. But bar hands down, right behind with number 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and with 7. You know, I haven't played much of. Some of those series I haven't played. But anyways, moving on. Sorry, my eyes is because the elevator doesn't matter. About Final Fantasy 13. I've been looking at the internet, and so many hate and so many dislikes to Final Fantasy 13 2 and Final Fantasy 13, and there's so many likes and so many likes to both of the games too. Now, there's a lot of people that don't care, that don't give two fucks about Final Fantasy. There's a lot of people out there that don't give two fucks about Final Fantasy, saying that, oh, Final Fantasy is not a real game. Oh, this is a real game. Shit, I don't got it with me. Call of Duty, there it is, right there. That's a real game. Because you know why? It's real life. I know I'm going to get a lot of heat for this. But you know, it's my opinion. If you guys hate my opinion, okay then. That's you. That's you. Okay, guys? I'm not going to hate. If you say something, okay. But don't say anything bad, because I'm not going to delete anything that's offensive. Because I don't want to do that. I literally do not want to delete anything that's really offensive. But, as I was saying, Final Fantasy 13, those people that hate Final Fantasy 13, I mean, I'm not going to say I don't get it. Like, oh, I'm not going to say that. I don't get you guys. Like, this is a good game. I'm not going to say that. I mean, to me, my Final Fantasy, the 13 series is a good game. Yes, it's a good game. The reason people hate it so much is because the way it is. It's not like the Final Fantasy 1. It's not like Final Fantasy freaking 6 or 7 or something like that. I mean, Final Fantasy 7 was kind of like the future, and some Final Fantasy fans hate Final Fantasy games that look like the future. They like the Final Fantasy games that look like the past, like Final Fantasy 1 and 2 and 3. Now, the thing about those games are back in the old days, like not the Western, or like those ancient Final Fantasy games back in time, you know, with the gods and everything. Those, to tell you the truth, when I didn't, that did not make me fall in love with Final Fantasy. That did not make me fall in love with Final Fantasy. What made me fall in love with Final Fantasy was the gameplay. That what made me fall in love with Final Fantasy. That's what made me love Pokemon. That's what made me love Kingdom Hearts. I'm a Kingdom Hearts fan. I'm a fanboy. I'm not gonna judge other people that are fanboys of Kingdom Hearts. Now, fanboys of Final Fantasy. I know there's a lot of fanboys of Final Fantasy out there. A lot of them. Don't say, oh, I'm not a fanboy. You are. If you know every Final Fantasy that's out there, if you got every game, you're a fanboy. I don't have every game. I'm trying to be a, probably I am trying to be a fanboy, but come on. Seriously, look at me. Am I going to be a fanboy anytime soon? No, I'm not. I might not even get a fanboy until I'm 40. But, get down to business here. But, Final Fantasy 13. Final Fantasy 13 2. They are good games in their own separate way. Just like Final Fantasy 7 series. And those series are great in their own way. Some people hate the Final Fantasy series. Some people despise the Final Fantasy series. You know why? Just because, you know, remember when Aerith died in number 7 and people cried and everything? Well, you know, to tell you the truth, when I saw that, it was kind of emotional, you know. I was like, why? You know, it was pretty emotional. And then they lead you over to a boss fight that I wasn't ready. I was like, wait a minute, I'm not ready for this boss fight. Come on, can I take a little bit of time off? Because, you know, she died. But people, yeah, Final Fantasy. The people that hate Final Fantasy series, they hate number 7 the most. They do, guys. I mean, the fanboys out there, I mean, probably you guys are going to say, well, they don't know what they're talking about, you know. They don't know RPGs. They don't know. Okay, you know what? Games have been out there for a long time, since 1950 something. I could be wrong, guys. Don't argue me for my facts, okay? Now, this is right here. Final Fantasy, all the series are good games. Sure, it might be fucked up a little bit, you know. Come on, what game does not have fucked up stuff? I mean, Call of Duty has fucked up stuff. WWE has fucked up stuff. What else have fucked up stuff? I mean, come on. There's some bad stuff in the game that I could complain a whole bunch of shit, you know. And am I gonna be pissed about it? Am I gonna be arguing every time the freaking Final Fantasy or Bioshock or something? You know, I'm a big fan of the Bioshock series, and I'm a fan of the Kingdom Hearts series. I'm a fan of Final Fantasy. I'm not a big fan of Final Fantasy, but I'm a fan. But you know, I'm a fan of Call of Duty. You know, because Call of Duty is a great game. I'm just not big as a first-person shooter. I'm not that type of guy that loves shooting people in a close range like this. I'm not that big. I'd rather, you know, see my character, see what he's going to do, and do that, you know. I'd rather do that instead of, you know, first-person shooter, all you see is a gun in your hand. To me, when I first saw that, I was like, what the hell is this? But then I took time to appreciate it. Like Final Fantasy, I took time to appreciate the stuff that was there, even if it was crap or not. Because you know why? I cannot see, well, some games out there are really, really bad. Yes, I have played some bad games, and I have played good games. I have played games that are good and bad, and people are saying that that's the worst game of them all. No, it's not. Have you ever played a worst game in your life? And if you guys say, oh, it's Final Fantasy, oh, it's freaking Dragon Quest, oh, it's Kingdom Hearts, oh, it's WWE, or it's freaking Bioshock, or whatever it's gonna be, you guys, because it's a sequel, or you guys didn't want it to be a sequel because the way it was the first place. Whew. Yeah, I said a whole bunch of shit, guys, because I'm kind of pissed off at this, you know, because people, is that how we are these days? I mean, people don't appreciate what do we see? Like people don't appreciate what we see anymore. I mean, sure, stuff are bad, but I mean, come on, what isn't bad anymore? I mean, mostly everything that's bad is now. I mean, look at movies. Some of them are bad, and some people love it. Some people love it that it's so bad, it's good. It's good. It's so bad that it's good. That's how. And some games are like that. If that's what they're doing, if that's what they're going for, are we going to stop it? Are we going to have a riot? Yeah, we're going to have a riot. Then we're going to go to jail for it. Yeah, that's very smart. Instead of sitting back in a chair and dealing with this shit like adults and normal people. That's how society is basically wanted. Movies coming out. So I guess that's really it, because everything I have to say is like crazy right now. About Final Fantasy 13. You guys, people that are ratting on it and everything, I'm not gonna say to stop, because that's you. I'm not gonna that's not, I mean, that's you guys, that's not me. It's just that, you know, it's Final Fantasy. You have to respect the game, either if you hate it or not. You gotta say, you know, I hate it, but you know, I played it. It's not that bad. Or you probably say, oh, it sucks. You know, some people are like that. Some people are jerks like that. Literally, they are. Some people are just like assholes. I have nothing else to say because I'm speechless right now. What I saw on YouTube about Final Fantasy 13, you know. Back then, the old Square Enix, Squaresoft, they were good. Yes, they were good. And then people say, oh, once they joined Enix, it became terrible and everything. Well, did it really become terrible? I bet someone is out there saying, yes, yes. Now, but did it really, really became that terrible? So terrible that we gonna hate the company forever? Was it so terrible that we don't want to buy another Final Fantasy game? I mean, how do you think Square Enix feel when a bad game comes out of their name? How did this? It doesn't. You know how they makes them feel? It makes them feel like shit. It makes them feel like they never. It feels like that they're disappointing their fans. That's how they feel. You think they don't? Do you think that they love disappointing you guys? I really doubt that, because Square Enix is one of the greatest companies I have ever saw that's done great RPGs. The reason I'm saying this is because, well, RPGs in all of the games are great, actually. You know, some games are bad, yes, but we have to play them to know if we think they're bad or not. And probably some people, yes, there are some people that are assholes out there. There's a lot of jerks out there, but there's a lot of good people out there too. You know, there's some people that are like in between. You know, they could be jerks, but at the end of the day, they're all nice people. You know, I'm kind of like that sometimes. Sometimes I could be a jerk, but you know, at the end of the day, I'm a nice guy. You know, I'm great to hang around with. I make fun of myself so people can laugh and everything. People be like, "You're stupid," and you know, they giggle and everything. That's the way I am, but it's the Square Enix. Probably they made a Final Fantasy movie before Final Fantasy VII, Advent Children. When that movie was a disaster. I didn't see it, but Square Enix said that they failed miserably on it, and they were disappointed on it. And they said if that movie was a success, Square Enix would still be making movies to this day. And I believe that. I think we would have had a Kingdom Hearts movie by then, guys. I think we would have had another Final Fantasy game, probably a Dragon Quest game. I mean, another Dragon Quest movie. I mean, you know, Square Enix could have had another movie that's based on another movie or something like that. I don't know. I'm getting over myself here. I'm very tired. But that's all I have to say about Final Fantasy 13. If you guys hate it, go ahead. I mean, I'm not going to stop you guys. It's your guys' opinion. I'll respect it. Whatever, you know. I'm saying my opinion, so if you guys respect it, good. Okay, thank you. Thank you for bottom of my heart. Thank you for listening to my thoughts and everything. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. Comment and subscribe. If you're one of those people that looks at this video and say, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You're a dick. You're an asshole," and everything. If you're one of those people that don't like what I'm saying, I'm sorry. I mean, I watch videos and I don't like people what they're saying, but I'm not going to be like, "Oh, you know what you're talking about? You're fag and everything." What I do, I'd be like, "Okay, yeah, I agree with you in some parts," and then I start talking about it and then everything, and then I make a video about it. And at the end of the day, I feel good about it. Because, you know, it's my opinion, and my opinion is okay. We have the right to express our opinion, right, guys? So this is the Skull Clown signing off, and I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I hope you guys, it made me think, I hope you guys have made you think. So, see you guys.